Now we're going to have a look at cayenne pepper. This is my traveling pack. I take cayenne pepper everywhere with me.
Barbara O'Neill is a well-known natural health educator, author, and speaker who has dedicated her life to promoting holistic wellness. With decades of experience, she empowers people to take charge of their health by addressing the root causes of illness, rather than just masking symptoms. Barbara's approach is grounded in science, but remains practical and easy to follow.
Cayenne pepper is a remarkable herb. Cayenne pepper is not chili. Chili comes from the chili family, and cayenne pepper comes from the capsicum family. Chili is an irritant to the lining of the gastrointestinal tract. Black pepper is an irritant to the lining of the gastrointestinal tract, but cayenne pepper will heal a stomach ulcer.
Cayenne pepper comes from the dried and ground fruit of the Capsicum annuum plant. Most people know it as a spicy ingredient used in cooking, but it has also been used for centuries in traditional medicine. Today, cayenne can be taken in several forms, including capsules, tinctures, teas, or simply added to food. In this video, we're going to explore some of the potential benefits of cayenne pepper, including the claims and observations shared by Barbara O'Neill.
Cayenne pepper moves blood. It's one of the best circulatory stimulants there is. It's not a nervous system stimulant like your caffeines or your tobacco. It's a blood stimulant. And when you consider that the life of the flesh is in the blood, cayenne pepper is a wonderful healer. And you can put cayenne pepper with any other herb and it'll intensify its action.
According to Barbara O'Neill, one of the key benefits traditionally associated with cayenne pepper is its ability to support healthy circulation. She describes cayenne as a powerful circulatory stimulant, suggesting that it can encourage blood to move more efficiently throughout the body. And circulation is incredibly important. Your blood is responsible for carrying oxygen and essential nutrients to your cells and tissues while helping remove metabolic waste. When blood flow isn't optimal, you may experience symptoms such as cold hands and feet, low energy, or fatigue. Cayenne pepper has traditionally been used to support healthy blood flow, which is why it has gained attention in herbal medicine. By helping promote circulation, it may support cardiovascular function and contribute to better overall energy and well-being.
So let's have a look at internally. Internally, it'll heal a stomach ulcer. Because what the cayenne does, it causes a constriction of any open blood vessels. So just for a moment, let's look at externally.
It's often assumed that spicy foods may make stomach ulcers worse, but Barbara O'Neill has discussed a different perspective on cayenne pepper. Cayenne contains capsaicin, a compound that has been studied for its effects on the stomach's protective mechanisms, including mucus production. This has led to interest in whether it could support the stomach's natural defenses. Cayenne pepper also contains compounds with antimicrobial activity, which researchers have investigated in relation to certain bacteria associated with stomach ulcers.
My son William, when he was about 10, he was clearing away the banana, the cut banana. You know how bananas, you'll get the old ones? And the elder son was cutting them with a machete. And William thought Peter had finished that area, and he came in just as the knife came down and cut across the fingers. In fact, the other son was looking through the grass for the fingers, but it was all right, they were still there. Anyway, I was in the meeting at a time. I looked up and saw Peter saying, "Mom," and I said to my daughter, go and see what's wrong with Pete. And then they were all gone. Well, I finished the meeting and went up to the house half an hour later, and there's William with cayenne pepper all over. The kids had put the cayenne pepper on it. And he was sitting there with a frozen juice ice block. That had made him happy.
Barbara O'Neill shares a personal story that shows the powerful first aid applications of cayenne pepper. She tells how her son suffered a deep cut on his hand and, in an unconventional move, applied cayenne pepper directly to the wound. To his surprise, the bleeding stopped almost immediately, and the cut began to heal without complications. This effect is due to cayenne pepper's ability to promote blood clotting at the site of an injury, while also having antimicrobial properties.
So any cut, put the cayenne pepper on it. Yes, it will hurt, but it's already hurting, and remember, it'll settle down, and then bind it up because it'll constrict the blood vessels and cause them to shut. Now, internally, if there's a bleeding ulcer and you take cayenne pepper, won't it hurt? It'll give a little bit of a tingle, but it will never hurt, meaning it will never cause an ulcer. In the book Jethro Kloss, there's a doctor that says it's impossible to cause a lesion with cayenne pepper. Another doctor said you cannot abuse cayenne pepper. It's impossible to abuse it. It's actually a very safe herb. It will never harm. So let's begin by looking at how you can use cayenne pepper internally. You can also use it internally if someone has a heart attack. Now, I had read about this, but I experienced it once, and it was when we had our health retreat in Melbourne. I got a call from one of the staff. A lady's had a heart attack in the middle of a cooking class. So I ran down. I was there in 3 minutes. The lady's lying on the ground. Her face is white. There's a guy holding a pulse. He said, "The pulse is gone." Almost. I said, "Quick, cayenne pepper." I got a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, quickly put it in her mouth. She was half conscious. We're able to give her a little bit of water to drink. Within 2 minutes, the guy holding the pulse said, "The pulse is strong." All the colour came back into her cheeks, and she sat up and said, "What happened?" Just amazing. We sold out of cayenne pepper that program. Everyone, what happened to that lady? What happened to that lady is that cayenne pepper, when it got into the blood vessels, it thinned the blood. This is the best blood thinner.
Another point Barbara O'Neill discusses is cayenne pepper's potential effect on blood flow. Rather than presenting it as a replacement for medical treatment, she describes it as a natural ingredient that may support healthy circulation. Cayenne contains compounds such as capsaicin, which is often studied for its effects on the cardiovascular system and blood vessels. For anyone interested in natural approaches to heart health, cayenne pepper can be considered as part of an overall balanced lifestyle, alongside appropriate medical guidance when needed.
By the way, how would you take it? Well, a medicinal dose may be 1/4 teaspoon in a little bit of water and throw it down. Won't it burn? Well, I prefer to call it tingle. You see, we're not doctors. We're just lifestyle coaches, teaching people how to be their own doctors. Yes, go to your doctor. Yes, go to your specialist and see what he says. And what can you do with his advice? You can take it or leave it. That's why God's given us this sound mind to consider these things.
For someone experiencing symptoms of a heart attack, Barbara O'Neill has discussed cayenne pepper as a traditional home remedy. However, a suspected heart attack is a medical emergency, and immediate professional medical care should always be the priority. Rather than relying on cayenne pepper or any other home remedy, call emergency services and follow the instructions of medical professionals. Cayenne pepper may be kept as a common kitchen ingredient, but it should not be presented as a treatment or substitute for emergency care.